A message here says, "Hi Jess, I'm very confused. My 11-year-old stepson bumped into his mother and I having sex in the hall 3 days ago. The mother tried convincing him that I was only massaging hair because we were not totally naked. The boy has been dull ever since, and we're confused. Would it have any traumatic effect on him? Is there any explanation I can give him that will be more convincing?" That's what he wants to know. Eugenia, what do you think? Awkward
explanation. I think it's his last question is funny. Explanation. So I would like to. I wish he stated the kind of relationship he had with him, seeing as there's a step relationship in there. But I'll assume that it's a healthy relationship they have. And I think that the big mistake was to have lied to an 11-year-old boy, even to a 5-year-old. These children know what time it is and they know what's going on. Once you were caught in the act, you do not lie to their face, because if they do it to you, you will read them the riot act. But you just did it as a parent. So I think that if he's that kind of open-minded parent, apologize about lying to him. I think that's the first thing. You will bring yourself to the child's level. Immediately you do that. Look, apologize for what I initially said. I was confused. I didn't expect you to be there. So I apologize. What I said wasn't true. And tell him the truth. You were having sex. He saw it.
Wow.
Yeah, and you see, and I think that I was having this conversation with a group of parents the last time, and I said, we as adults have perverted the body to children because the breast is to feed a baby when they're born. The vagina is to pee. That's the primary role of these organs.
Right.
But we label them sexual organ immediately. The child sees it. So the bum is used to do whatever is meant to be done with. So we end up drawing their attention to the fact that it is not meant for something else. But they have primary roles. If we're able to talk about vagina, what the vagina is supposed to do in its primary role, and the penis in its primary role, I don't think we will be uncomfortable having these conversations with children to begin with. Now, I'm not saying that therefore have sex in front of them, but as he clearly stated, it was an accident. So that when an accident happens, you're able to explain yourself without feeling awkward. You will feel awkward because you were seen. Ideally, he shouldn't have seen you. But you wouldn't need to lie. I think it's what it is. 11-year-olds, you know what they're saying? I mean, my 7-year-old at the time was telling me about divorce and step-parents and what have you not, because he watches it on TV. Yeah. So an 11-year-old boy knows what time it is, knows what he saw. Let's even assume he hasn't watched anything and doesn't know, but he knows what he saw. He saw something that wasn't to him normal, and they feel it. I remember when the first time I saw it, without anyone telling me it was sex, I was like, there's something going on. This is odd. This is odd. What are they doing? Why is he sitting on hair? So I think that if he really wants and especially because the son is his step, if he wants a healthy relationship going forward, because boys have a strong relationship with their mothers. And so he already probably feels like, you're taking my mother away and you're doing something to her, I'm not sure, or I saw what you did and you lied to me. He's got to level with him and be honest. We're having sex. I'm sure you know what sex is. It's at that moment for the boy to say, yes, I do, or no, I don't, and then take the opportunity. This is what married couples do. This is how babies are made. This is how we become intimate. We enjoy each other. And it's something meant for adults. I'm sorry you came, you chanced upon it. You shouldn't have. And I really do apologize about that. And don't even do it at home. Decide to take him somewhere without his mother even being there. Man to man, if we may call it so. Now you are the man of the house. Man to man. And apologize. That way, if he has any, I believe, depending on the relationship you have with him, he should be able to open up a bit. Maybe not a lot, but a bit. The fact that you've even apologized, immediately, it makes him feel safer or it makes him realize that you are the bigger person. You actually apologize to me, a kid, which is not the norm. Right. But what else could you say? Go and compound the lies? I feel the respect will not be there. from that moment you lied. And I work with children. I'm telling you, 11-year-old has the brain of what probably I was when I was 18.
Yes.
Today's 11-year-old,
So true.
they're way ahead of us.
Scary.
So that's what I think. Yeah.
So true.
So true. Do you agree?
Yes,
He should come clean.
He should come clean. He should first and foremost gather his thoughts, and he shouldn't look nervous around the child, because once you start looking nervous and you would make the child feel more uncomfortable, and you fumble. That's the word that couldn't come out. You make the child feel very uncomfortable. So put yourself together, and don't let the child bring the topic up.
Yeah.
Meet the child. Take the child out of that environment the child is traumatic. Whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do, he's traumatized. He's traumatized. So take the child out of that environment. Like Eugenia was saying, man to man, open, honest conversation. Maybe I wouldn't use the word sex. But I would probably
use.
That's what he saw. But but
They know it.
they know it.
What
They've
word will
learned
you
it.
use? That's what I'm curious about.
I would say Mummy and I were being intimate, just to take away from, because I feel like saying the word sex, I mean, you showed him what sex was. You would just be sort of compounding him. Like if I open, touch wood, but if I open my mouth to my daughter, even when we're having conversations about sex, I'm very open about sex with my children. So immediately you see the word sex, she goes like, oh, Mommy, and she closes in. So you don't want them to psychologically close, and immediately it's like you take his mind back to, this is what I saw, this is what it is, I can't open up anymore. So use words that are basic, words that are friendly, neutral, but not taking away from what you're communicating to the child. So once you tell them that Mommy and I were having an intimate moment, yes, we're supposed to have locked the door, but we didn't lock the door. But what you saw is what you saw. I do apologize, but it won't happen again. I mean, in front. Don't come and catch us again. Exactly. Not the act. Hey, how can I say that on TV? Hey, the act there will happen, but we will be more mature. We'll be more responsible next time about it, and just hear him out, and just create more opportunities for him to relax and feel comfortable, and also know that it will take time for them to sort of relax, because it's traumatic. Like, thankfully, I never saw my parents having sex. Thankfully, I always knew that when my daddy came back then, and then Mommy and Daddy were always in the room, but the room was constantly locked. So yeah, we could imagine all sorts of things, but we didn't know what was happening. But they wanted to have Mommy Daddy time, and that's all it was. But yes, as much as possible, have that frank, honest conversation, and then take it from there. And don't be too hard on yourself, or don't be too hard on your son, on the boy as well. Give him time. He'll come around. He'll get to a point in time. Actually, Tom, you get to a point in time that, I mean, these things are meant for adults. It's meant to bring us together. It's meant to. That's how we show each other how much we love each other. It will get to a point in time we'll talk about more things and make a joke or two about it, and see if he laughs. Yeah.
Okay, Claudia, what do you think?
I'm not really experienced when it comes to children, so all that the sisters said, all that they said. But I think fundamentally, the person who composed the text is coming from a very African perspective, where we think so little of children. So instinctively, when they were caught, the first decision was to lie to the child. So, like I said, the sister said, have an honest conversation with the child. Sex is sex, call it sex. And now, I don't know about Ghanaian schools, but out here they are teaching sexuality in schools and all that. So I don't know if year 11, by then they've tackled sex in school in Ghana. Yeah, so for all you know, he's even been taught in school. But the whole act of seeing it in person was traumatizing, because I mean, theory and practical sometimes is difficult to link the two. So give the child the right information. You see, growing up, our parents lie to us about all sort of things, and you end up getting wrong information from outsiders, from your friends. And now these kids have phones, they're on the internet. Some of them even use their parents' internet more than their parents. And by 11, Their friends are out there talking about things. So always give your child the right information. But go easy, step by step, like Olivia said, man to man. But the right information, call it sex. Sex is sex. You can give it all the lovey-dovey names, all the playful names. Sex is sex. He saw a man and woman having intercourse. So tell him this is what happened, but most importantly, it's for adults. It's for adults who can make the right decision. Mommy and I are older. Mommy and I are adults. That's why we are doing it. So it doesn't mean you should go and try it with your friends. It's just for us to do, but we are sorry that you saw it. My 2 cents. Yeah.
So it won't happen again.
It will happen again. It will definitely happen again, but you won't see it.
All right, I'll just move right along to the next message. It says, hello, sisters. I'm 29 years old. He's 35. We were friends for about 5 years before we started dating 9 months ago. We love each other dearly and are planning to get married in the near future. We have also met each other's families. My concern now is he has a number of ongoing projects at the moment, and he discusses almost every step of the journey with me. Is it right for me to assist financially with the projects as we aren't married yet? And that's from Mami. What do you think?
Why not? Because if it were you, you would expect him to help you financially. Plus, you guys are in a long-term relationship that's heading somewhere. But the thing is, it could go either way. Because I've seen women who have invested in their husbands' businesses, and when the businesses thrive, their husbands are very, the money comes, they don't want to have anything to do with their wives. So what I think you can also do is, if you feel uncomfortable, what you could do is tell him that I would like to support you in this business, but for the sake of our future, should something happen to you, touch wood, I want us to have some kind of proof or evidence that we supported each other, so that in the court of law, you have some kind of document to show. And when he wakes up tomorrow morning and he feels like you're not good enough for him, you have that document to show, and you can claim your percentage any day, any time.
I like that. Yeah. What do you think, Eugene?
Well, I think that, sorry, did she say he asked for help? Or
No,
she thinks
she's asking if it's right for her to assist him.
So that's my thing. If he's not asking, why are you thinking it?
She wants to be a good partner.
No. Why are you thinking it? The person hasn't asked you. You see, this is where then the expectations, and you're weighing the person down. So you're bringing in your commitment, and the man is going to read it in different ways, or other people are going to read it in different ways. You're dating. He hasn't asked you for it. So that's one side of it. The other side, you want to do it. I think, as Olivia is suggesting, be careful. I would say that, which is a principle I have. If a very good friend of mine wants money from me and I'm not sure whether the money will come back, or I don't want the relationship to be ruined, I'll give you what I can afford to part with. Mm-hmm. So if it doesn't come back, I don't lose sleep over it. If it comes back, great. Or if he yields, great. And I think that's the same commitment she should have towards this project. The project, you may never know, there may be other investors or shareholders in it. You have no idea. Yeah. So as I say, especially if you've not been asked, I kind of think give moral support. Moral support works. It's also support, isn't it?
Absolutely.
But what if it comes across as though he's complaining, saying that, hey, maybe my business, like, I need money,
and then
he doesn't.
Yeah, that's all.
What if he's implying and he doesn't want to open his mouth to ask her?
She still hasn't said that. Women, we can read implications.
Yeah, but something is causing her to feel like that, though.
See, this is what she said. My concern now is he has a number of ongoing projects at the moment, and he discusses every step of the journey with me.
Yeah.
Could it be because he wants assistance? Like,
thank you.
Or being torn and a drum out. There's something they say.
Yeah, something about if you don't talk about your problem. But,
right.
So if he's saying, I'm struggling, I need money and I can't find money. Oh, okay. So you haven't asked me. You see that you want him to ask explicitly. Then you see that's where Olivia's proposal then works. Because then you also begin to ask questions. Oh, okay. So this project, how many people? Is it just you, or is this and then the other? Okay. So why don't we just have an agreement then? Yeah. No, I want to support it. I want to be a part of the business. Maybe let me have 5% shares. Yeah. Let's be very professional about it.
Paper.
Yeah. But if you're hinting, it's like, then let's pray about it. Prayerful women are needed.
Claudia, you have the final word. Let's go.
I'm with Eugenia. You are in the spirit. seriously, I feel sometimes women always want to please men, so they go looking for things. And you see, we do it in so many ways. A woman meets a man, goes to her house, starts cleaning, starts cooking, starts sweeping. I have to be wife material. I have to help my husband. The guy probably just needs a listening ear.
Yes.
Why are you assuming he needs your money?
Yes.
Why can't you just be a listening ear? We have counselors, therapists who just sit, you pay them, sit and listen. So you're even providing free therapeutic services.
Thank you.
He should be paying like 100 euros an hour for therapy. He's using you for therapy and you want to give him your money as well. My sister, don't you have any project you want to invest in? As a woman, don't you have a vision? The guy is doing projects for his life. What are you doing for yourself? That money that you have that you want to be an angel investor. Can't you start your own business? So that when you are going into marriage, you also have your house, you also have your car. You don't have to sit in your parents' house till you marry and then go and live with a man and you are coveting his properties and his cars and always scheming. Develop yourself. If you have money, go and buy shares, go and buy stocks, start trading. It will give you interest.
Yes.
Why do you feel the need to insert yourself into a picture that you've not been invited to? He's not asked you. There are banks who can give him loans. Boys, they have boys who can give them loans. Woman, what are you doing for yourself with your money? It is your money. Obviously, you have too much money. From what she's saying, she has too much money. She needs something to invest in. And you see, sometimes mixing business and pleasure, it gets tricky. It gets very, very, very tricky because sometimes in a relationship, giving a loan, you might sign all the documents, go to court. He's just going to take it for granted if he doesn't want to pay. He won't pay. And it's not a crime to owe a debt. It is not a crime. You can just say, I'll pay you €1 every month. I'll pay you €1.
Yeah.
Your money is gone. So we are in love. But let's learn to compartmentalize our brains, our hearts, our money. At least until you are married and then you decide, okay, we are going to put our money together. But even with that, you put in some safeguards. And that is why sometimes when relationship ends, women are so distraught because they've given everything. I'm sure in addition to the money, she's cooking, she's cleaning, she's providing sexual services. She's already a wife. Assuming a role that nobody has put on you.
Yeah.
Sometimes women do things that they've not even been asked because they want to be wife or girlfriend of the year.
Yeah, you've made your point. I'm gonna have to cut in here, unfortunately, because we've run out of time. But yeah, I mean, spot on with your submission.